Okay, so now we are going to move on to the middle part of the lesson. I'll put this on top. Let's see. And so f of g is a composite function. So it's a composite function. Find a value in the g function, and then take the new value and find the value of the f function. Use the following to find the value of f of g and g of f. Okay, so we are not doing this example here. We're going to skip down to number 9, and we're going to use that example. Okay, so I have it written down on my paper already. We are going to find f of g and, oh, I wrote that wrong, and g of f. So let's find f of g first. So the open circle does not mean to multiply, it means of. You're going to take your g function and put it into the f function. So another way that some of them write it is like this with parentheses, f of g of x. That means the same thing. You're going to take your g function, put it into your f function. Okay, so let's go over this. The way that you set this up, this is the first thing you want to do. This is how you start it. The first thing you do is I'm going to write f of g. Now let's see, there are in my, I'm writing g last, so let's look at the g. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. So I'm going to write f of g 4 times to match. Okay, the pairs that are given for the g, those are your xy coordinates. xy, xy, xy. So you know in your functions that you've been working with this year, you always put the x value in, and the answer is the y value. So what we're going to do here out beside the g, I'm going to put in parentheses all the x values for the g. So the first x value for g is 5. The next x value for g is 3. Next x value is 7. Next x value is 9. Okay, so that's how you set the problem up to find f of g. So how you do this, how you make a composite function is, I'm going to find the value for y when g is 5. Okay, so this is from my first point. When g is 5, y is 7. So instead of writing g of 5 right here, I'm going to substitute the answer for that. So it's going to look like this, f of 7. Okay, so let's do it for the next one. I want to find the value for g of 3. So when g is 3, when the x value is 3, y is 5. So I'm going to substitute that 5 in place of this g of 3, so it looks like this, f of 5. Okay, let's do the next one. When your g function has an x value of 7, y is 9. So instead of g of 7, I'm replacing that with a 9, because that is the answer when the x value is 7. And then the last one, g of 9, the value is 11. So f of 11. I'm replacing that g of 9 with an 11. Okay, so now I'm looking at a whole different function. I'm working with the f function now, but I'm going to do the same thing. I want to know the value when the f function, the x value is 7. So looking up at the f function, when x is 7, y is 8. So the answer here is 8. Okay, so let's do the next one. F of 5. So I'm going to go up to my f function, and here is when x is 5. The answer, y value, is 3. So that equals 3. The next one, f of 9, go up and find where x is 9 in the f function, and y is 8, and that's your answer. Okay, and then the last one, f of 11. So I'm going to go up where x is 11 in the f function, and y equals 4. So that's your answer. So what we did was we found new coordinates. And the coordinates are the beginning x and the ending y. So we would write the answer as an ordered pair, 5, 8, and this one, the beginning x is 3, the ending y is 3, so that ordered pair is 3, 3. The next one is 7, 8. The next one is 9, 4. So we put the g function into the f function, and the way that you want to write your final answer is in the brackets like they have it set up in the beginning. So we'd have the little squiggly bracket, and then write your answers out as ordered pairs in the parentheses. And that's the end of it. So let's go on and try to find g of f, because sometimes it doesn't always work, and I want you to see what happens when it doesn't work. Okay, so I rewrote the f and the g function so we'd be able to see it, and this time we're finding g of f. So I'm going to write g of f 4 times, and the beginning step is, since f is written last, I'm going to work with the f function first. So I'm going to go through and write down every x beside the f. So 7, 5, the next one is 9, the next one is 11. Alright, so first I'm going to find the y value when f is 7, and that's 8. So I'm going to replace that f of 7 with an 8. Next step, f of 5, the y value is 3, so I'm going to replace that f of 5 with a 3. Next one, when x is 9, y is 8, so I'm going to replace that f of 9 with an 8. And the last one, when x is 11, y is 4, so I got g of 4. Okay, so now let's go back and find the new g value. So g of 8, well, you can look in your g function, there's no x that's equal to 8. So you can't work this one, so you're just going to write undefined. On the next one is g of 3. Well, this is where x is 3 in the g function. The answer is 5, so that point is going to be 5, 5. Next one, g of 8. Again, there's no 8 for my x, so that one's undefined. And then g of 4, in my g function, there's no 4 that is x, so that one's undefined. So I only have one value that I can use. And so when you write your answer for g of f, you're just going to have that one pair, that one coordinate for your answer. Okay, so we just have a little bit more left to go over. It's at the very bottom of the page. It says if f of x is x plus 3 and g of x is x squared plus x plus 1, find, and we're going to do number 10, f of g of x. So it's a composite function, okay? The function that you write last is the one that you're going to put in place for your other function. Okay, so I'm going to take the g and put it into f. So I could write it like this. I want to find f of, and instead of writing g right here, I'm going to write down what g is, x squared plus x plus 1. So I'm going to replace every x value in my f function with this x squared plus x plus 1. So you can see that there's one x value. So instead of x, I'm going to put x squared plus x plus 1, and then plus 3. So if I wrote the function above it, x plus 3, this x has been replaced with that x squared plus x plus 1. And then I just want to simplify it. So all I can do really is add the 1 and the 3 together. So your final answer is going to be x squared plus x plus 4. And that's it. That's all you can do. Okay, so let's look at number 12. We're going to do that one, and then we'll be done for today. And if you guys have questions, you need to make sure and bring them with you tomorrow. And maybe I can do another example at the bottom of the page. But on number 12, there's two number 12s. Wow, okay. Or no, there's one. Okay, there's only one. So we're going to do f of g again. But this time we're going to put a number in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number. See, up here it was just x, so nothing changed. I just took whatever the function was because all I was putting in it was an x. But this one I'm going to put a 2 in place of the x's. I'm going to put a 2 into the g, and then whatever that answer is, I'm going to put into my f function. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I'm going to find g of 2 first. 2 squared plus 2 plus 1. So that's going to be 4, 7 is my total. Okay, so now I'm going to find f of 7 because all of this equals 7. So I'm replacing that with a 7. So that's going to be 7 plus 3, and that's 10. So f of g of 2 is 10. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure and write those down so we can look at it tomorrow. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of examples tomorrow to start off with unless you ask. So you need to make sure and keep that in mind. Okay, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hope you have a good night. Bye.